Hello students, I hope you all will be good at your places, and today I am just going to start the new topic paragraph in chapter 33 data handling. As I already told you about the pictograph, that in pictograph we represent the data and numerical value by using the pictures, but in bar graph we represent the data by using the rectangular bar of equal width and equal height. Okay, as I am showing you bar graph over here, and you can see that two bar graphs are there, and in both the bar graph two lines are intersecting at single point. Okay, and we have given the name to this intersection point, that is the O. Okay, this intersection point is O. This intersection point is called the origin point. Okay, this is the origin point. Got it? Now in each bar graph two lines are there. First one you can see, this is the vertical, and second one is the horizontal. This vertical line is the y-axis and this horizontal line is called the x-axis. Got it? Y-axis and x-axis. And in this bar graph and in these both bar graphs you will find some rectangular blocks are there. Okay, rectangular blocks are there. These rectangular blocks are called a rectangular bar, and the width of all these rectangular bars are equal. Got it? Same, you can see here some rectangular bars are there, and the width of all these rectangular bars is equal. Got it? One more important thing, that in graph paper small squares are there. Okay, you can see that some squares are there that is very small and the minor. The length and breadth of this small square is 1 millimeter by 1 millimeter. Okay, means the area of this small square is 1 millimeter square. Got it? Because this is the square, so length and breadth definitely will be equal. Okay, so the measurement of the small square is 1 by 1, means 1 millimeter square, and along with that you can see that one large square is there. Okay, so what is the measurement of this? 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter, and the area of this large square will be 1 centimeter square. And you know that in 1 centimeter 10 millimeters are there. So if you will just count the small square in this large square, so you will find that there are 10 small square in this large square. Got it? So this is the few important things related to the graph paper. Now we will do some questions of exercise 33C. Before starting this exercise, I would like to tell you that in this exercise only two type of questions are there. In first type of question you will draw or you will plot the bar graph, and in second type of questions are of data interpretation, in which already a bar graph will be given and you have to just give the answer on based on that bar graph. Okay, so the first question is saying that the following table gives the number of students in class 6 in a school during academic year 2011-12 to 2015-16. Here two rows are there, and in first row academic year is written, and in second row number of students are there. Means in 2011-12 80 students were there, and 2012 and 13 120 students were there, and so on. And we have to just draw or plot the bar graph for this table. Got it? So what you will do, first of all, you will just draw a two line, vertical line and horizontal line. As I told you, in bar graph two lines are there, x-axis and a y-axis. Got it? This is our origin point O, this is y-axis and this is x-axis. Now as you can see that in this table two rows are there, two numerical values are there, means two informations are there. First one is academic year, second one is showing the number of students. Okay, and in bar graph two lines are there. So both the information we will represent on these lines, on this axis, on x-axis and on y-axis. Got it? So on x-axis we will just represent the academic years, and on y-axis we will represent the number of students. Got it? So first academic year is 2011 and 12. So we will write here 2011 and 12. And second academic year is 2012 and 13. So 2012 and 13. And then 2013 and 14. Then after 2014 and 15, and at last 2015 and 16. Okay. Now the number of students are left. So number of students we will just represent on y-axis. Okay. So for the given value, means for the number of students, we will just consider the scale so that we can represent the number of students on y-axis. Okay, the minimum number of students is 80 and the maximum number of students are given the 180. Okay, so if you will represent by using the 10, 20, 30, so it will take the large space in the graph paper. So you have to just decide, you have to just consider the scale so that your all data can be represented on the particular axis. Okay, so this is the 0, so we will consider it 20, and then after 40, then 60, 80, 100, 120 and 140, 160 and 180 and 200. Okay, as you can see here, this is the 20 and this is 40. So definitely between 20 and 40, 30 will be there, and this is 40 and 60. So definitely between 40 and 60, 50 will be there, and so on. So 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130 and so on. Okay. So according to the question, in academic year 11 and 12, 80 students are there. So you will see the column of the academic year 2011 and 12, and you will follow the y-axis and you will just stop where the number of students 80 is there. Okay, got it? So you will just put a mark on the graph paper. Got it? After that, you will just draw a rectangular bar till the 80 in the column of 2011 and 12. Okay, so you will draw like this. Okay, now the academic year 2012 and 13, according to question, in this academic year 120 students were there. Okay, so you will just see the column of this academic year and follow the y-axis, and you will just stop where the 120 students are there, and you will just put the mark in front of the 120 year in the column of academic year 2012 and 13, and after that you will just draw a rectangular bar. in academic year 2012 and 13. Got it? Same you have to do for the academic year 2013-14, okay, 14-15, and academic year 15 and 16. In 13-14, in academic year 13-14, 130 students are there. So in this column you will see and follow the 130 on the y-axis. So you will find that on y-axis between 120 and 40, 120 and 140, you will find a 130. So this is the line of 130. So you will put the mark here, okay, and draw the rectangular bar for 130 student in academic year 2013 and 14. Okay, I hope you must have understood. And now for the 150 in academic year 14 and 50. So 150 will lie here at this point, okay, between 140 and 160. This is the 150 for academic year 2014 and 15, and for academic year 2015 and 16 you will do same as we have done here. Got it? So by this way you can just plot or you can just draw a bar graph for the given table of the questions. Got it? Now I am just going to tell you the question number 2. This question is saying that the attendance of a particular class for the 6 days of the week are as given below. Here again the 2 rows are there. One row is for the days and the second row for the attendance of the students. Okay, and you have to draw a suitable bar graph. Got? So again we will draw 2 lines for the axis. First one is horizontal line and second one is vertical line. Okay, this is the y-axis and this is x-axis. This is origin point O. Okay. Now on x-axis we will just represent the days. Okay, as you can see in the table, 2 types of informations are given. In first row days and in second row number of students, and 2 rows are there. So on x-axis we will represent the days, and on y-axis we will just represent the attendance. Days, and here we will represent the attendance of the student. Okay. So first day is the Monday, so you will write the Monday, and second day is the Tuesday, and then after Wednesday and Thursday, then Friday, and then Saturday. Got it? Now for the attendance, the minimum attendance is given the 36 and the maximum is 48. So what you will do, you will just consider the scale so that all the information can be represented on the y-axis. So we will do it considering the scale of 5, 10, 15, then 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and 50. Okay. Now we will just represent the data and the information given in the table of question number 2. On Monday, 48 attendance is there. So we will just see the column of Monday and follow the y-axis and see where the 48 will lie. Okay, so 48 will lie between the 40 and 50. So this is the 40. So we will count from here 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, then 46, 47 and 48. So this is the 48. We will just put a mark here, and after that using the scale we will just draw a rectangular bar. Okay. Got it? So on Monday 48 attendance is there. You may write it like here if you wish. Now on Tuesday 44 attendance is there. So in column of Tuesday you will see where the 44 will lie. 44 will lie between 40 and 50. So this is the line of the 40, 41, 42, 43 and 44. So we will put a mark over here. Okay, we will just see the column of Tuesday and follow the y-axis. So again here at 44 we will draw a rectangular bar. Got? Now what about the Wednesday? On Wednesday 40 attendance is there. So see in the column of Wednesday, this is the 40. So here you will just draw the bar, means rectangular bar. Okay, in graph paper we always plot or make the graph by the pencil. After that on Thursday 36 attendance are there. So on Thursday you will see where the 36 will lie on y-axis. So this is the 36, this is the 35 and after that 36. Okay, so here you will just draw a rectangular bar for the day Thursday. On Thursday 36 attendance are there. Got it? I hope you must have understood. Now for Friday and Saturday you will do so as we have done for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. Okay, on Friday attendance is 39. So 39 will come here below the 40. Okay, this is the point for the 39. And on Saturday 43 attendance are there. So this is the column of the Saturday and 43. This is the 40, 41, 42 and 43. Okay, so till this point or till this height you will just draw the rectangular bar for the Saturday, and till this height you will just draw the bar graph for the Friday. Okay, and the rest of the questions of plotting the bar graph you will do on your own. I will just tell you which question you will do. After that some questions are there of the data interpretation. As I told you that in this exercise two type of questions are there. First one where you will just draw the bar graph, and second one of the data interpretation where the bar graph will be given and you have to just give the answer on the basis of the bar graph. Okay, so in this bar graph in question number 5 300 families are there. I am just reading the question. In a survey of 300 family of a colony, the number of children in each family was recorded and the data has been represented by the bar graph. So first of all, we have to just understand this bar graph and have to give the answer on the basis of this. So by seeing this graph, you can just understand that number of families are given on y-axis and number of children are given on the x-axis. So by seeing the graph, you can understand that 40 families are there, 40 families are such in which only one child is there. 60 families are there in which only 2 children are there, and same 140 families are there in which 3 children are there, and 60 families are there in which 4 children are there. Okay, now read the question. How many families have 2 children each? Okay, so we will see the column or bar, rectangular bar in which only 2 children are there, which is representing only 2 children. So this rectangular bar is showing the 2 children. Okay, so we will just follow the y-axis. So we will find that 60 families are there in which only 2 children are there. So answer will be the 60. We have to match the data of y-axis to the data of x-axis. Now second, how many families have no children? Means जिसमें कोई भी बच्चा नहीं है. So there is no family is there. Okay, minimum 1 children is there in each family. So answer will be no. Okay, answer will be no. Now what percent of family have 4 children? What percent of families have 4 children? ऐसी कितनी फैमिली हैं जिसमें 4 children है, उसका परसेंटेज आपको बताना है. So there are 60 families are there. 60 families are there. We have to find the percentage out of 300 family. Okay, and I told you in fraction, to find the percentage we just multiply it by the 100. So 20 to 20 will be cut, and 3 2s are 6, means 20. 20% families are there in which 4 children are there. Got it? Now after that, I am just going to tell you the next question of data interpretation, that is the question 7. This question is saying that the bar graph drawn below shows the number of tickets sold during a fair by 6 students A, B, C, D, E, F. Means in this question 6 students are there, A, B, C, D, E, F, and they sell some ticket in a fair. So by seeing this graph, you can just understand that the number of sold ticket have been represented on the y-axis and their name, means the student's name have been represented on the x-axis. Now we have to understand this graph and have to give the answer of this question. The first question is saying that how many tickets were sold by each of A, B, C, D, E, F, means how many tickets were sold by each student. Okay, so first of all A, we will see the how many tickets were sold by the student A. So this is the 16. Okay, A sold the 16. We will just see the column of the student A and match it to the y-axis. Okay, to the sold ticket. Now after the B, how many tickets was sold by the B student? That is the 9, because the height of this block, of this rectangular block, is up to between the 8 and 10. So it is the 9, means 9 tickets were sold by the B. After that, we will see the student C. How many tickets were sold by the student C? So the height of this column, means of the student C, is 19. Okay, the height is up to between the 18 and 20. No, it is the 21. Okay, it is not 19. The height is between the 20 and 22. So it will be the 21. Got it? Just observe the height of the rectangular bar very carefully. Now after D, D is 7, means 7 tickets were sold by the D student. Okay, if you will see the height of the column of student D, you will find the height is between the 8 and 6. Got it? And between 6 and 8, 7 will be there. Now E. How many tickets were sold by the E? It is the 24. Okay, got it? The height is up to the 24. Now after F, what is the number of tickets sold by the F? So it is the 15. Okay, if you will observe, then you will find that the height of this column is between the 14 and 16. So it is 15. So these are the number of tickets sold by the each student. After that, the second question is saying that who sold least number of ticket? किसने सबसे कम टिकट सेल किए? तो that is the D. You can see D sold the only 7 ticket. Now third, who sold maximum number of ticket? सबसे ज़्यादा किसने sold किए? So you will find that E. Okay, 24 ticket was sold by the E. Now fourth question, how many ticket was sold by A, B and C together? Means A, B and C ने टोटल मिलाकर कितने टिकट सेल किए? सो A प्लस B प्लस C मीन्स 16. A ने 16 किए and 9 tickets was sold by the B and 21 ticket sold by the C. So when you will add it, you will find the that 21 and 9, 30 and 46. Okay, so 46 tickets were sold by A, B and C together. Now fifth, how many tickets were sold by the D, E and F? Okay, so what you will do, you will just add the value and the number of tickets sold by the D, F means D, E and F. Now you just add it, then you will find the total number of tickets sold by the DEF. After that, the sixth part of this question is saying that what is the average number of tickets sold by per student? Okay, so I told you how to find the average. So to find the average, you will just add all the number of tickets sold by each student. So 16 plus 9 plus 21 plus 7 plus 24 plus 15, and then after you will just divide it by the 6 because the number of students are 6. Okay, so you will find the average number of tickets sold by the each students. Got it? So these were some questions which I told you in this exercise. And as I told you, only 2 type of questions are there which will be asked in the examination. Okay, so I will share you some questions which you will do on your own. Till then, you just keep practicing. Thank you.